those lies come with screenshots, videos, receipts, first-person testimony. Girl. Welcome back to Wine and Chill. I'm Stephanie, your favorite recovering lawyer, and today we are talking about Colleen, copyright, and potential lawsuits. And the ukulele. Alright, we're drinking Azlina, my favorite, Sauvignon Blanc, and we're going to get right into it. Our agenda, we're going to start with a brief, abridged version of the Colleen Ballinger controversy and the ukulele. We're going to get into the potential civil legal issues, not the criminal. This is not a true crime channel. Starting with copyright as well as potential lawsuits by either the victims or Colleen. And then lastly, we'll get into conclusion. So, if you are not familiar with Colleen Ballinger has come into moral disrepute, not for the first time, but maybe for the largest time in the recent past week. We're going to go through a list of her allegations, the first being is not an allegation, in which she sent a 13-year-old lingerie. Yes, and it's not an allegation because she has already admitted that she did this and apologized. She thought it was a joke.
What?
According to Time magazine, McIntyre, who was the young person that received the lingerie, said in his 2020 video, he is now a YouTube personality, that Ballinger and her friend, Corey DeSoto, who has since deleted his Twitter account, mailed him lingerie that DeSoto had worn over his clothes during a live stream with DeSoto when McIntyre was 13. In resurfaced clips of the live stream, Ballinger and DeSoto could be heard laughing about how funny it would be as they envisioned his parents' reaction. Meanwhile, the politicians are worried about the drag queens when they should be, you know what? Next, we have a clip of a parody of Gangnam Style.
Tamagotchi Panda Express in a non-go. Unit top 6 and the soy sauce.
This is a tiny portion of the entire problematic parody in which Colleen thought it was very funny to mock Korean culture, and specifically using this portion because Tamagotchi is Japanese. And little not so fun, history fact, Japan colonized Korea. The audacity and the disrespect is very loud. By now, you may have seen the allegations that Colleen was wearing blackface while performing Single Ladies. Her legal team has reached out and stated that it was actually dark green face paint in which she was singing a song from Wicked just moments prior, and that she always ended her shows in that year with Single Ladies. However, the legal team did not proffer any video evidence of her ending other shows singing Single Ladies. So you know what? The jury is still out on that allegation. We have to keep sipping to get through this foolishness. Allegedly not paying her underage assistant even the minimum wage. So again, from Time magazine, Silvestri, who was her assistant at this time, claims that he was paid little for his work on the Miranda Sings tour as an assistant from July 11th to September 22nd, 2018. This is not back in the day. This is the other day. He says he was paid a little bit over $3,500 for 2 months of work. He said in a tweet that he worked 12+ hour days and also posted photos of his checks that he received from Miranda Sings Inc., which show him getting paid $3,175 in one check and $480 in another. And the final allegation, and there are more other allegations, this one has video evidence which we won't be showing, which is Colleen publicly embarrassing a young fan on stage by having them simulate what is supposed to be a yoga pose for a split. Well, I was going to say skip, but that's what she unfortunately did to the young woman in front of a whole entire audience. To which the young woman has now gone into TikTok to say that she was mortally embarrassed and very much afraid that her undergarments were showing. Again, politicians are focusing on the drag queens. Why? Now, allegations aside, if you are not familiar, as I was not, who is Colleen Ballinger? According to Time magazine, Ballinger has billed herself as a family-friendly YouTuber for more than a decade. Her first and primary channel, which consists of content she makes with her kids, family, and friends, has more than 8.6 million subscribers. But she rose to popularity with another channel dedicated to her fictional character, Miranda Sings, a disheveled adult child with poorly applied red lipstick who aspires to become a star. Miranda Sings is also who made that Gangnam Style racist, xenophobic parody. It should be noted and assumed that the majority of Colleen's 8.6 million subscribers are mostly children, as the people coming out with these allegations are now young adults who have been harmed while they were still youth. And in response to all of this resurfacing, instead of seeking legal counsel about her potential criminal charges, potential lawsuits, issues that might arise when one conducts yourself in this manner, when one participates in this type of behavior, she decided to create a song with a ukulele. Yes, which I will not be playing in the entirety because of potential copyright claims or strikes, and we'll discuss the legalities around copyright in a few short moments. You guys having fun?
All aboard the toxic gossip train.
The all aboard is really sending me. So, lyrics include, I've been wanting to come online and talk to you about a few things, even though my team has strongly advised me to not say what I want to say. Sorrows, prayers to all of my fellow lawyers who have clients that do not listen to them. Child, this is why I do not take private clients. Stress. Also, my background is in transactional law, in case you were wondering and you're new. On to the chorus. So let's get on the toxic gossip train. The locomotives fueled with hateful accusations. The toxic gossip train. Steamroll over someone's reputation. Toxic gossip train. Hop on board, but close your eyes. Otherwise, you'll realize that the train is made of lies, and that person you despise maybe didn't deserve to die. But hey, at least you're having fun. The casual use of the word die and also the casual use of the word accusation when you've already apologized about said accusation as an admittance because you did the thing. Specifically in regards to the lingerie sending, in regards to Gundam style, unless she wants to claim that it is an AI clone. She's not claiming that. I don't think she's that ridiculous, truthfully. Hopefully. I thought you wanted me to take accountability, but that's not the point of your mob mentality. Is it? No, your goal is to ruin the life of the person you despise while you dramatize your lies and monetize their demise. The emphasis on the alleged lies is really interesting when those lies come with screenshots, videos, receipts, first-person testimony. Girl, should have listened to your legal counsel, but also it's extremely disrespectful to the victims of her behavior that she even decided to go down this route. So, on to the legal issues. Now, the copyright allegations. Let us take a grain of salt because the source of the copyright allegations is Pop Crave, which is somewhat of a tabloid popular culture website. According to a now deleted tweet by Pop Craze on July 11th, Colleen Ballinger has released her apology song, Toxic Gossip Train, on Apple Music. She has now started issuing copyright claims on videos featuring the ukulele song. The tweet further went to state, influencer and accused child groomer Colleen Ballinger is selling her Toxic Gossip Train apology song for $10 on iTunes. First of all, that price, wild. $10? That is about a minute per dollar. For the same woman who couldn't even dance properly nor sing Single Ladies well. The audacity is astounding. The same day, Pop Craze then issued this tweet. Colleen Ballinger's legal reps tell Pop Crave that Ballinger did not upload her 10-minute ukulele song Toxic Gossip Train to iTunes and Apple Music. The song, which was attached to her profile, has now been removed. To which my genuine question is, who uploaded it? Seriously. But let us take the copyright hypothetical and do a little bit of learning about copyright law and how copyright can be weaponized against people who are trying to shed light on the truth. So, according to the US Copyright Office and my law school IP professor back in the day, copyright is a type of intellectual property that protects original works of authorship as soon as the author fixes the work in a tangible form of expression. An original work of authorship, in this instance, the song itself. The minute she wrote the lyrics, there was a copyright in the lyrics, and the minute she performed the song to that beat, there was a copyright in the music composition as well. One could argue there is essentially a copyright in the music composition the minute she wrote out the ukulele beat, and that would be assuming that she actually composed it instead of just doing it on the fly to her, it's not an apology, so I don't even know what to call it. Technically, Colleen owns the copyright to both, assuming that she wrote both. She did also perform both as well. And I would really be curious to know if any of the many content creators that have covered this issue have received any copyright claims from YouTube. So a copyright claim on YouTube is when you are improperly using without license someone else's content, or you do not fall under any fair use exception. So, what is fair use? Fair use is an umbrella exception and an umbrella term used in copyright law that allows people to use other people's works if they're using those works for teaching, so education in general. They're using it for criticism, which is necessary because sometimes people need a good dirty read. Research, and also parody is usually protected under fair use. So if we're continuing this hypothetical, if Colleen were to claim copyright, technically the majority of these users might fall under fair use in the fact that they are criticizing her behavior and specifically criticizing the crassness of using a ukulele to address very serious criminal allegations. Fair use has 4 elements if you want to use fair use in court, and those are the purpose and character of the use, including whether such use is of commercial nature or is for nonprofit educational purposes, the nature of the copyrighted work, the amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole, and 4, the effect of the use upon the potential market for or the value of the copyrighted work, which she uploaded it to YouTube. Her market value right now is basically AdSense. It's not affecting her AdSense. So to be honest, even if Colleen and her team decided later on that they wanted to copyright the songs and go after every content creator, they would likely lose. Now, what are the potential lawsuits in this whole entire scenario? First and foremost, the victims and their parents, because many of these people were minors at the time this occurred, can sue Colleen for IIED or NIED, intentional infliction of emotional distress and negligent infliction of emotional distress. They're more likely to win on the NIED, negligent infliction of emotional distress, because it is a bit easier to prove. So the 3 elements for negligent infliction of emotional distress are the defendant was negligent, the plaintiff suffered serious emotional distress, and the defendant's negligence was the cause or substantial factor in causing the plaintiff serious emotional distress. The emotional distress is very documented, not only on YouTube, but on TikTok. And Colleen already admitting and apologizing a few years ago about certain of these instances. Yeah. I would say those parents definitely could seek restitution. IIED, intentional infliction of emotional distress, I think they also might have a case for that as well. So the defendant must act intentionally or recklessly. The defendant's conduct must be extreme and outrageous. It is outrageous to send a 13-year-old lingerie when you are well into your late 20s, if not 30s at the time this happened. Again, Colleen is 36 at this point. This happened years prior. However, math is not my ministry. I think it would put her at 29. Outrageous behavior. The conduct must be the cause of severe emotional distress. The victim of this conduct has stated the visceral amounts of emotional distress this has caused him, as well as the other members of Colleen's community, which were mostly children between 13 and 17 years old at the time, in regards to the various chat groups they were in, which Colleen spewed very inappropriate and adult-aged behavior. Now, on Colleen's end, which I think, if the audacity is this large, we have various issues, and I think somebody playing the ukulele shows their audacity is probably this large. It is possible that Colleen and her team decide that instead of going the copyright route, that they sue for defamation. Defamation is when someone feels like their reputation has come under disrepute. However, in absolute defense to defamation is the truth. And if you've been following this channel long enough, we've covered many defamation cases. She would not win, because all of the receipts, the videos, the text messages would come up that, well, where was the lie that you keep singing about in Toxic Gossip Train? In conclusion, it's safe to say that the 2010s created an overwhelming amount of problematic YouTubers that have certain things in common. Fascinating. And said YouTubers have over the years come under scrutiny for their highly questionable and potentially criminal behavior. So we're going to see if actual accountability is had in this case, or if, in like the case of other YouTubers, she just fades into the black and then resurfaces a few years later as if nothing happened. I'm hoping some actual accountability can happen for the woman who thinks that she's in a train cart of one. Because like our former president is finding out, accountability is for everybody.
Jogging down the tracks of misinformation, toxic gossip train. You got a one-way ticket to manipulation station.